Let's talk about this season then. I mean, I mentioned there at the top of the show, this time last season, the difference between first and fifth is 5 points, and this time round is 2 points. It looks to be what we hope, at least, because Man City tends to run away with it more often than not, what we hope to be, I guess, a tighter competition. How many teams do you foresee to be in that title race, Sharpe?
Oh, that's a tough question after just 6 games. I think it is a lot tighter than we were expecting, maybe. And we do like to see that because we like to see a bit of pressure melting up there without a couple of teams running away with it. But I think we can probably look at... I still think Man City, Arsenal are the top 2. Liverpool have probably surprised a few, but no disrespect to the teams they've played. I don't really think they've played anyone significant as yet. You can probably put Manchester United in there, but at the moment they're not.
We're not even close to the top half of the table, so let's not bring that into the conversation.
They're not as significant as we'd like them to be.
Chelsea, Aston Villa?
Aston Villa, I think, after a really good season last year, have come back strong. I think people may have expected them to drop off a little bit this season, but they've come on strong. Chelsea, with all the players they had and the trouble in the transfer window this summer, I don't think anybody was expecting them to come out all guns blazing. They have. So no, it's entertaining, it's exciting, but you know we do have to realise that there's only 6 games gone, eh, Gary? And there's a long, long way to go.
Yeah, I think it's worth discussing to some extent. But the top 3 looks very similar to last season, how it finished, doesn't it? Chelsea, I guess, are the slight surprise for me. I didn't know quite how Chelsea were going to perform this season with so many players and a new head coach, etc. But I think you can go down to, well, probably the top 8 or 9 sides, because we all know that 5 or 6 points is not an unassailable distance at this stage of the season.
Well, despite the fact that Liverpool are top of the table coming into this weekend, look, that could all change come Sunday. But according to Opta, I don't know if you guys believe in the Opta computer, but they are the 3rd likeliest to win the title. So City have got the likelihood of 72.1%. Arsenal's got 18.1%. They put Liverpool, despite being at the top of the table, at 9.4%. Do you think they are serious title contenders? Because I think many don't expect Liverpool to be part of the conversation after, the change from Jurgen Klopp to Arne Slot.
I would say they can be in the top. They can win the title. It's not easy to come after Jurgen Klopp, but I think since the start they are doing very well. The gameplay is very nice to see. And I think all the players, they adapt very, very quick of what the new coach wants. And they score a lot, they create a lot of chances. And I think, yes, they didn't play against top team, only United, but they are in a good way.
Not sure if at this point we consider United as a top team.
Yeah, that's why I said.
But thank you so much for mentioning that. Sharpe's really happy to be sitting next to you. But do you like... Look, I think a lot of people may be a little bit surprised at how seamless Arne Slot has been able to transition this team. But do you like the way that Liverpool plays? I assume you're supporting Liverpool and Villa in the Premier League, of course. Do you like the way that they play this more controlled versus your Jurgen Klopp rock and roll football that's a little bit more chaotic?
I would say yes. 2 different styles, but the main things that they want, both coaches, they play very offense, and it's nice to see when I watch the last game against United. I can see that the players are enjoying together. They are playing very fast football, offensive, and I think they will improve and more. It's just the start of the season.
Yeah.
So they need to win every game because this year is very tight between the 1st place and the 5th place.
I like how you keep mentioning Manchester United. Who keeps defeating Manchester United sitting next to Sharpe? But I think Sharpe had a good point, Gary. I mean, how much can you actually read into their current form, looking at the fact that they haven't really been challenged, they haven't really been tested, but maybe that is to the benefit for Liverpool because you then can build the momentum when you have quote-unquote easier fixtures to start off the season.
Well, I think you can take it into account. Across the course of the season, you have to play 38 games. And it doesn't matter when those games come, you've got to accumulate points, and that's exactly what Liverpool have done so far. And they've accumulated more points than anybody else. So I think you have to say it's a very, very good start for Liverpool. You know, let's not forget about the quality. You know, Liverpool played at home against Nottingham Forest, for example, and got beaten. And
is it a concern that the last few games maybe they haven't looked as on top of their game, again, even against Bologna and even against Wolves as well? You wouldn't say that they're 100%, or do you see as a positive
I'd
that they're winning in different ways?
Because it's about winning games, isn't it? And of course, you know, there are
the tougher
some
tests after the international break.
Yeah, there are some bigger tests. Of course there are, and that's my point that I made earlier, that you have to play everybody across the course of the season. You know, I think sometimes you need to freshen the side up, and Liverpool haven't done that with signings. They've only brought Chiesa in, and a goalkeeper who's gone back out on loan. But where they have freshened it up, in my opinion, is with a new head coach. And it's a slightly different style of play, and I think all the players, Lee, have really responded to that as well.
I think you're right. I think going forward, I still think they have this explosion of pace, loads of talent, and options as well. You know, you've got Núñez on the bench, Diaz on the bench. You've got Gakpo coming in today. Jota's always been a great admirer of Jota. Salah has just been extraordinary since he's been at Liverpool. So they have the strength going forward. And it looks like, from what I can see on the bench, they have a decent depth of squad to deal with the season. And if you are going to win a league, then you do need to go to the smaller clubs, let's say, and make sure you get the points. And even though they've not played well and it's not been smooth sailing, they've still got results when they've needed them.